If you like the video, please consider supporting us on Patreon.
Oh, hey there. Welcome to another thrilling episode of Pull My Focus. This week we're going to talk to you about how to use a C-stand. What are these crazy things? And they're all over the place on a set, and well, probably should be everywhere else too. Well, we're going to show you how, and we're going to show you why you should have one in your home. That's right. First, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor. That's right, we have a sponsor. This is so exciting. We want to give a shout out to Bolt Lighting Rental. They are a lighting and grip rental house located in the San Francisco Bay Area. And they helped make this episode possible with their sponsorship and equipment. Thank you very much. For many people, and I know it was the case for me, the first time on set is pretty exciting and overwhelming. A lot is going on. Set walls are being placed, lights set up, cameras, dolly, hair, makeup, sound, and the use of a singular piece of unique and bizarre equipment that you really don't see anywhere else. I mean, the first time I saw it, it was like out of a science fiction movie. It was like, what is this thing? This thing has 3 odd legs, a riser much like a light stand, except at the top is this giant hole disc that reminds me of the spool from a Tinker Toy set, except that the holes are different sizes and it's got this giant locking knob on it. And in it is a pole with the same type of head on it. What is this thing for? Oh, it's for everything. This is the C-stand, short for century stand, also called a grip stand. It has been in the film business for a very, very long time, probably since the very beginning. Its exact origins are clouded in history, and this is probably because all the studios manufactured their own gear. It wasn't until the early 70s when Matthews Studio Equipment came into being and they produced the first C-stand with nested legs that we know now and sort of set certain standards in place that we'll talk about. But what we care about right now is how to use one. The purpose of a grip stand is to place, hang, or hold an object somewhere in the space that you're working in. It might be in the shot, or it might be outside of the shot. The grip arm can extend from the grip head, which can spin at 360 degrees. The riser on the grip stand extends this sphere up into a cylinder. This means we can place, hang, or hold an object anywhere within that space. So that means if we need to place a flag or hang or hold an object in the frame, a grip stand makes that possible. And that is the purpose and beauty of it. If you've ever worked on a project at home for a hobby or something like that, and you've tried to, you had to lean a board on a chair, tape it to the back of the chair or table or broomstick, trying to position something the right way, you know what I'm talking about. A grip stand is designed to do that for you. It's a shame that it's only used in, for the most part, as I know of, in the film and video photography business, because they're crazy useful. A grip stand is comprised of 3 sections: the stand, the grip head, and the grip arm. The stand has a standard 5/8 inch pin, sometimes called a baby pin or a 1K pin. This is referring to what are the smaller standard industry lights that mount on this pin on a regular light stand. This means, yes, you can use a grip stand as a light stand in a pinch. The grip head has a series of holes in it. The larger is a 5/8 inch receiver. A grip arm happens to be 5/8 inches in outside diameter, the same as the 5/8 inch stud. This means a grip head can also receive another 5/8 inch stud like this one on a pigeon plate. Normally, you would attach a pigeon plate to a wall or a pancake to place a light on it, on that stud, but here we're reversing that. I turn the pigeon plate upside down and mount it inside the 5/8 inch receiver of the grip head. We now have a plate that can be used horizontally to hold objects on in the shot, or vertically to attach an object to that we want held in the shot somewhere. The grip arm is just a grip head with a 5/8 inch diameter tube attached to it. This means, yes, we can place lights that we normally would put on a 5/8" stud on the end of a grip arm. Super useful. We can even buy a piece of 5/8" OD, outside diameter, aluminum pipe. This is a 1/8" thick wall, which is pretty good, or it could be solid aluminum. And we can place that in a grip head and hang a light from it. Heck, we can even put another grip arm into the grip arm head, giving us an additional joint to manipulate. This is helpful when the grip arm is holding something that you need to spin on its axis. The other hole in a grip head is also a standard in the industry, and it's used to hold the ends of flags, nets, and open frames. And the really small hole, usually diamond shape, is for holding smaller items like dots and fingers, which are just miniature flags and nets, and also wire, rope, things like that. Now, because the grip head is a big set of washers, you can also just place thin objects into it like a sheet of show card to use as a reflected fill light. If you want the card coved so the bounce is more directional, piece of G-tape or paper tape to the rescue. Why are grip stand legs different sizes? That's so that they can fold flat into a nested position and then be easily stored away in bins or carts. This means we do need to open them up when we want to use them and close them back up to put them away. Opening them is pretty easy actually, but sometimes people will, for some reason, turn them upside down in order to do it. Never turn them upside down. I've seen a few videos that show this. I don't know why, but here's the thing. If you turn them upside down, if one of the risers is loose, the stand will extend and it could hurt someone, hit them in the foot, break something on set. Yeah, you could check each riser to make sure it's tight, but you're wasting time doing that. Also, just the act of spinning it on set, especially if it's a tight one, could hit something or someone. There's no need to turn it upside down. Why? Because it's really easy to open the legs. Watch. Put the big leg between your legs and pull the small leg open till it clicks. About 1/3 turn. Then open the medium leg 1/3. It will move the small leg with it. It's now open. 2 easy motions. It's that simple. And the same to close it, just in reverse. Big leg between your legs, close the middle leg, then the small leg into the bin or grip card. That simple. It's a beautiful thing. Some grip stands come with a base that isn't spring-loaded. This type is called a Rocky Mountain leg. We'll talk about how they're used in a little bit, but to open them, you do it slightly different. Loosen the locking knob on the big leg. Spin it 1/3 of a turn, counterclockwise. It should then engage the middle leg. Keep going another 1/3 of a turn, and it should click into place. Now, lock the locking knob on the big leg. To close it, just do the exact same thing in reverse. Note, when you open them, they're also easy to stack together in a nice, clean row. Because we have 3 different size legs, it only makes sense to put the weight of whatever you're hanging on the grip arm over the big leg. It's just going to be sturdier. So no matter the size or weight of what the arm is holding, make it a practice of always placing it over the big leg. Now, there's another important point about the grip head. If you think about it, it's basically 2 thick washers hanging on a bolt with a knob as the nut that is used to loosen, tighten them together. This means Righty, Tighty, Lefty, Loosey comes into play. If you're hanging an object on the grip arm and it's on the right side when you're facing the grip head knob, that's the right side. Any weight you put on that arm will tighten the head, Righty, Tighty. If it's on the left, it could loosen it, Lefty, Loosey. Regardless of how light the item may be on your grip arm, get into the practice of always using the arm on the right side, the righty-tighty side of the grip head. Now, some people may think that's a little silly, but here's the thing. You might be working 12 hours or more. You're tired, maybe you're not feeling well. It's not the time to think. It's the time to act in a rote way based on practice and muscle memory. Trust me, you don't need to be thinking at this point. That's how mistakes happen. Righty-tighty. Always 1 sandbag minimum per C-stand in use, regardless of what you have on it. Even if you have something lightweight, it could easily be knocked over by somebody. You want the weight of the sandbag around the center of the pole as best as you can get it. You don't want any of the weight resting on the ground. One more safety tip. Because a grip arm can spin in a 360-degree vertical direction, this means that the grip arm, the end of the arm, can extend from the crotch, chest to the head in an unsafe position. Film sets are, can be pretty well lit and bright. Behind the equipment that's lighting and managing that set, it can get pretty dark and contrasty. So you need to avoid putting the end of the grip arm into this position. How? Adjust the riser to change the angle of the grip arm while keeping the grip arm head in the exact same position. So this way the grip arm is no longer in the danger zone. It could also require you to use a different size C-stand. Talking about sizes, there are a few different size grip stands. The standard is usually labeled 40-inch. It's bigger than 40-inch. I think it's referring to the riser, but it comes with a double riser, grip head, a long grip arm, and of course the nested legs that are a staple of grip stands today. The next size down is called a baby C-stand. It's usually labeled 20-inch, and depending on geographically where you are, it may have other nicknames that are used to describe it.
Who'd you talking about?
Those are the two main sizes. Now there are a couple of varieties of the nested legs. The first is called a Rocky Mountain leg, and basically the big leg can slide up and down the riser, and you would use this to adjust it maybe in those tight positions I mentioned earlier where you couldn't get the big leg in. Well, with a Rocky Mountain leg, say on a set of stairs or on a hill or road or something with a slight grade, it comes in very handy. The other is called a turtle base. The stand actually separates from the legs to reveal another standard in the industry, the 1 1/8 inch receiver. This receiver matches the other type of light stands, which the lights are larger and have the pin on it that goes into the receiver, and it's usually referred to as a 2K or a junior pin or 2K or junior receiver. The purpose of the turtle base is that it allows you to place a light very low. Those are the basics on how to use a C-stand, a super amazing tool that has multiple uses on set, and I think a lot of uses for other projects that you may have at home. Stay tuned. In the next month or two, I'm going to do a video on flags and nets, how to cut lights using C-stands and flags and nets. That'll also be made possible by our awesome sponsor. Another shout out to Bolt Lighting Rental. Thank you guys so much for making this video possible. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out pullmyfocus.tv for our companion articles that go along with our videos. Also check out in the description below. I have links to the equipment that I've talked about here, the different kinds of C-stands and whatnot. Oh, hey, how you doing there? Yeah, it's Frank here. Another thrilling episode of Pull My Focus.